Hey guys, what's up? It's Remy, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up your own Plutonium dedicated server, along with installing IW4M Admin, mods, and custom maps. Now, this is all playable with friends and open for the public to join. The custom maps are just parts of transit that have been sectioned off and coded to play as real maps. Now, I will try to explain this in as much detail as possible in a step-by-step fashion, but like with any tutorial, there will be people that are confused, and that's okay. If you find yourself to be one of those people, please leave a comment down below and I would love to help you out. My advice to you is stick with this, write it out. It'll be worth it in the end. You can mod your server to your heart's content, play with your friends just like the old days. Totally worth it, but it will be kind of a tedious process because there are a lot of little things that can go wrong that can just cause your server to flat out not work. So just stick with it, write it out, and it'll be worth it. The links are going to be down in the description below, so make sure to check that out through the process of the video. And I also just want to give a quick shout out to D-Man. He made a video on this about 2 years ago, and that video helped me get my server started, so I just kind of wanted to return the favor back to the community. And depending on how this video does, I might upload some more videos or in-depth guides on how to load custom textures and camos, how to 3D design custom textures and camos with all three of the layers and all that, and maybe a more in-depth video on GSC modding. But for now, this is just going to be the basics. The gameplay that you're seeing here is actually of the final test server that we set up in this video, so at least you know what you're signing up for. And with all that being said, let's get right into the video. Basically, what we're going to do is you're going to want to download the Plutonium launcher and the T6 config files. It'll be right here on the Plutonium Forum. I'll put a link to it in the description below. But basically, this is a Plutonium launcher, and this is your server config. So we'll just drag your server configs into there. Now what you're going to want to do is these files right here, you're going to want to actually bring over from your game folder. So all these files right here I got from my actual game folder. So to start, you're going to open up your T6 configs and you're going to drag them into your dedicated server folder. And just to clarify, you don't want to do this where your actual game is. You want to copy those files I showed you and then move them to another folder where your server is going to be hosted from. For instance, right here. So what you're going to do, make sure you have plutonium.exe, right click Update Pluto, click Edit with Notepad, and okay, so right here, basically you're going to see this right here. Delete this bottom line. Here, let me just zoom in. Delete that bottom line right there, and then delete these two colons, and then save the file so that you only have this in your Update Pluto. So you're going to run it, and you should see a Plutonium folder appear along with a Plutonium updater downloading the files. Now, why you want to do that is because normally when you update Plutonium, it'll download it to your local app data. But in this case, I want to keep all the files together, so I want all of them to be in my actual server folder. So once it's downloaded right here, click exit, Plutonium, and then you're going to go into your Plutonium, versus Plutonium, highlight these, and then drag these into your server folder, and then you can just delete that right there. Alright, now for the next step, we're going to make some folders. So first we're going to start off, we're going to go New, Folder, and we're going to name this folder T6R. Then we're going to go into it, New, Folder, Data, go into that one, and we're going to create two different folders here. So we're going to name the first one Images. This one right here is where you'll put your custom skins and textures and all that later. And then we're gonna name this one Maps. So go into Maps, right click, click New, name this one MP, go into that, and we're gonna make 2 more folders. Name the first folder Game Types _ ZM, enter, New, and then name the second one Zombies. Alright, so we're gonna do one last thing. We're gonna go back to our server folder, go to local app data, Plutonium, storage, T6, and then copy these files. Go back to your server folder, go to T6R, data, and then paste these files next to images and maps. This is where your server config is going to be. So you got your dedicated ZM, and this is where your password, max clients, all that stuff, server devars, mod devars, your map rotation, and your Archon password. And real quick, we're going to change our Archon password to 123 and then save the document. That'll be for later. That'll be for when we could do the IW4M Admin. So you can just X out of that, and we'll go back to our server folder, and then you can just delete the local app data, and then come down here where it says start ZM server.bat, edit it with Notepad, and we're going to do a few things here. So before you go any further, you're going to go online, and basically you're going to create a server key. You have to have one of these for your server to show up on the server list and for it to even be playable. So for this instance, server host name, this is what the public is going to see. So we'll just do test server. Come down here, select T6ZM BO2 zombies, and then click create. I already have one from earlier, but do not show your server key to anybody. And if you do, delete it. And then come down here, and we're going to copy server key. And then we're just going to paste it. It'll say set server key or put server key, place server key here. And then after we do that, we're going to come down to port. And I like to set my port to 4977. And I'll tell you why. The client, I read on the forum that the client takes the port 4976. So if you try to run the server on 4976, then it might not work. I don't know how true that is in all situations, but for my situation, I found that 4977 works, and I'd recommend putting it to that. And what we're going to do, so we're going to just delete that. We don't really need that at all. And then, yes, okay, so where it says set name, put your name as like whatever. It's just going to be the name of the command prompt window, like where it says, you see like right here where it says this, it's just going to be that name right there. So set it to whatever you want. And game path, okay, don't touch anything else. And then right here, you're going to delete that and type percent CD percent. And then once you do that, you're going to click save. All right, so for this next part, I'm going to show you guys how to port forward. So you're going to do Windows key R, type in CMD, and then in the command prompt window, type in ipconfig. It'll display a ton of information about your adapters. Find the one that you're using. In my case, I'm using Ethernet. And then come down to where it says default gateway, copy this number right here. It should start in like 192.168 or 10.0.0, whatever it is, just copy it and minimize. Go back to your browser and then paste it in your search bar. Now this is going to be your router's login page. Normally the default username is just admin and the default password is just password. So try that if it doesn't work for you. I have mine configured, so go into here, and then go to where your port forwarding is. So mine is under NAT forwarding and virtual servers. And then what you're going to do is click add service type. Just type whatever, BO2 server, and then external port. So basically the external, you type it in for the external and it's going to act as the internal too if you leave the internal blank. So we're going to do 4976. I always like to port forward the client along with the server, and then dash 4977. And if you wish to have more servers running, each server is going to take up a port after 4977. So say you have two servers running, one would be on 4977, the other would be on 4978. So you'd have to come back and port forward to 4978. This is just the range of ports. And then for your internal IP, so basically you're going to go back to CMD, and where it says IPv4 address, you're going to highlight it, copy it, and you're going to paste it for the internal IP. Now, after that, you're done. Just leave the protocol at all, enable the entry, and then click save. Now it's going to say it conflicts because I already have them port forwarded down here. But once you got that done, then you've port forwarded. Congrats. So you're going to X out of that. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go to the firewall and make a firewall rule. So you're going to go to your firewall, and then you're going to go to inbound connections. Now, just type this in, and it'll most likely pull this up. You might have to click a few things, but just make your way over here. Now click new rule, and then port, next, make sure you're in inbound rules, and then TCP, and then you're going to type 4976 through 4977, and we'll just copy that, and then we're going to click next, allow the connection, all three of those, and then just give it a name like Pluto 1, and then you're going to add another rule, port, paste the port range, and then this time select UDP, and then click next, allow the connection, Pluto 2, and then you're going to do the same process for outbound rules. So new rule, port, TCP, allow, Pluto 1. The only problem is that when you're making firewall rules, you can get going pretty quickly. And on the outbound connections, the default for the allow the connection is actually blocked. So you have to change it. Pluto 2. All right, guys, just one last thing and we'll be done. So go to T6R, data, dedicated underscore ZM. And then where it says general settings, go down right below it, make a line, type in SV underscore host name, and then quotes or double quotes, the name of your server. So test server, we'll just copy that. And I just want to show my keys. Paste in there, and then in quotes. And then we'll save that, exit, go back to our server folder, and then we're done. So now let's start it up. Okay. And then after a second here, it should say heartbeat successful. And if you are impatient like me, you can just type status. And if it shows this, your server's working. Oh, there you go. Oh, We don't really need to cut. Okay. So now, when you launch your server for the very first time, it's going to ask you if you want to make a firewall exception for the .exe. Normally, you click allow, but for whatever reason, it gets closed out or it crashes or whatever, and it doesn't pop back up and your server's not working. Then what you're going to want to do is go to Firewall and just go to Windows Defender Firewall. Don't go to Advanced Security. Go to Allow an app or feature through Windows Defender, and then scroll down to where it says Plutonium, and then just check private and public for all of them, and then click OK, and it should be working. Now I will see you guys in the game, and we'll see if it even shows up. I forgot to mention that you always want to launch your game before you launch your server, or else your game will not launch. This is for security reasons, according to the Pluto staff. Also, you want to run this plutonium.exe that's in your server folder at least once during this whole process, even if it's at this point. That way it'll log you in. Also, you want to start your actual game when you go to play from your normal plutonium.exe, or else your settings won't be saved and it's just a mess. So use the normal plutonium.exe that you normally use to start your game, and then start your server after you start your game. So we're going to see if it even shows up. Filter by ping. It'll be the first one. There we go. Test server. Let's see if we can even load into it. All right. And looks like we got it. So at this point in the process, you're pretty much done. You've got your own server. All right, guys, one quick thing. If we go to T6R, data, dedicated ZM, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll find your map rotation. So my map rotation is, yeah, SV map rotation. All the other map rotations are commented out with 2 slashes, and if you want to say change it, then you just comment, and then just like that. So now it'll be this map rotation. But say you want to just add like a single map, you know. So you'll see right here the list of all the maps and their codes. So say if I want to do origins, it would be exec this, you copy this whole string right here, copy, and then just go down, sv underscore map rotation, open quotes, and then paste, close quotes, and then you have to leave map underscore rotate at the bottom. If you delete that, your server will not work. All right, we've seen that our server works and that we can connect to it. The next step is installing IW4M Admin. Go to this page right here. The link will be in the description below, or just look up IW4M Admin. It'll be the first one. Go to the page, click on Releases, and then the top one should say IW4M Admin date pre-release. Click on it, and then click Download the zip, and we'll just save it to our dedicated server folder. Save, and then we'll open it, minimize. All right, now we're just going to make a folder inside our dedicated server folder called IW4M Admin. Go into the folder, take all of these, drag them in. Okay. Now once they're in, should be, yeah, start iw4admin.cmd. You're going to double click this and then X out, and it's going to add some files. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to start your server. So start ZM server, wait for it to at least show something. There you go, heartbeat successful. There we go, it's up. We're going to minimize that, go to IW4M Admin, start IW4admin.cmd, double click it. And it's going to ask, so this is going to be like the pre-setup. So it's going to ask you all these questions. So enable web front. Yes, you're definitely going to want this. Enable multiple owners, up to you. No. Enable step privilege hierarchy, up to you. Once again, no. Custom say name. This will be what like the console appears as when you type something in it. So I like admin or console. Use custom encoding parser, no. Display social media, this is once again up to you, no. And since you have your server running in the background, it found the IW4 admin found the server and it's now listening on that server. So enable RSS message feed, for me, no. Require privileged client login, no. Enable profanity deterring, no, I'm not a bitch. Enable server-side anti-cheat, nah. Okay, so now it's going to ask you for your custom encoding parser or custom game parser, whatever it is. Type the letter that corresponds to the Plutonium T6 or yeah, T6 parser right here. So 9, enter. Would you like IW4M Admin to try to automatically determine your server IP? Yes. Enter the server port. So the default is 4976, but we changed it, as you can see here, changed it from the default to 4977, and that's what we forwarded for our server. So we're going to type in 4977. Would you like IW4M Admin to try to automatically determine your Archon password? So if you guys remember, we actually already wrote the Archon password in dedicated ZM. Scroll down, and then it'll say Archon _ password, and then whatever's in those brackets, which we put 123 earlier, is going to be your Archon password. So we're going to click no, and then enter server Archon password 123. Configuration saved, add another, no. So now it's going to actually try to establish like a real connection and enable a web front from our running server. And as you can see, if your server, so if the first thing that comes up when you start your IW4M admin in your actual Pluto test server is version is Call of Duty multiplayer, and then it just keeps printing out. And then it starts with the status updates like every 2 or 3 seconds. That's how you know it worked. So we're just gonna X out real quick. And we're gonna go into IW4M admin, right click on start IW4M admin.cmd, create shortcut, drag the shortcut into your Black Ops 2 dedicated server. And I already did this, but just delete that and then delete the shortcut. There we go. Now we will run our server one more time. And then run IW4M, and now you can see what I was talking about. When it starts printing out, that means that it's working. And then it should say now monitoring test server. All right, so I launched my server again and I launched my game and it's monitoring my server. So we're gonna see. I'll join in. And there we go. This server uses IW4M admin, yada, yada, yada. Welcome, this is your first time connecting. You can customize all of that, but But yeah, there we go. And then now if we type archon, oh, I don't have access to that command. Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to leave the game. We are going to go to our browser. And then what we're going to do is type in your local host. So 127.0.0.1 colon 1624. Alternatively, you could just type local host colon, but that's not as fun. All right, so now this will bring, as long as IW4M Admin is monitoring the server, this page will be up. So we will go to recent players, and then we will go to client options, set to the owner, edit. Oh, one more thing. So we can go request login token, generate, and then you can actually log in game with this token right here. So it would be exclamation mark LI for login, space, and then this token. And then like basically you would become an admin when you log in. But since I disabled that in my initial config, if you're an admin or once you're made an admin, you're forever an admin, you never need to log in. So now we'll load in. Yeah, now it says there are 0 reports. That's what it says for an admin. And now I should have access to archon and all the other commands. So archon sv underscore cheats 1. And then it should say successfully sent archon command. Now I can no clip and cheat and all that, and my friends can all do it with me. Wow, I fucking suck. So if you want to edit your IW4M admin configuration, just go into the folder, go into configuration, and then all of these right here are editable. So say you want to go, let's do default settings. You can edit it with Notepad++. I like code. Okay, so yeah, now right here, these are all the auto messages. So this server uses IW4, IW4M Admin, basically what we see on start. And you can customize those to your liking. So yeah, let's just do one like, thanks for joining my server. There we go. And now if we just click save, that'll pop up. Same thing with everything down here and all the other programs. Alright guys, so once you get done installing IW4M Admin, you're going to want to install this bank patch. And what this is going to do is it's going to make the bank usable, and it's going to save your balance between server restarts and maps. It's really easy to do, and let's do it. So I'll have this linked in the description below and the GitHub page. Thank you to Fed and Dr. Sass. So come on over to the GitHub page, click the bankfix.zip and download it. Open it up. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into your IW4M admin folder, go into your plugins, drag the bank fix in, and then go into the zombies folder in the zip file, go into your T6R, data, maps, MP, zombies, and then drag the zm underscore banking.gsc into the zombies. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to data, dedicated ZM, and then wherever you want, just maybe make a comment like bank fix mod or something like that. And what you're going to type is you're going to type set space bank underscore printing 1. And you're going to save it. And I will see you guys in game. All right, guys, and it should work like this. If you did it properly, you should see the amount go up in the left corner, and then when you withdraw, you shouldn't see anything. So you know you did it right. Alright guys, so we're pretty much done, but if you want to install mods on your server, then you're going to need the GSC Example Toolkit. So I'll link that in the description. And for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to be doing the Zombies++ mod by Kaz. So click the GitHub link and go to where it says source code. And we're going to be doing all three of these, but we'll start with client IDs. So copy everything inside the text. You can just click that button right there. Go back to your server directory, go to T6R, data, maps, MP, and I already created the other two, but that's just for time purposes. We're going to go new, create text document, and we're going to rename this to underscore client IDs.gsc. And then yes, now what we're going to do is we are going to go to our GSC toolkit. We're going to grab our compiler, copy it, and then paste it in with all the GSCs. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open it, and you can edit. So since the GSC isn't compiled yet, you can edit it in Notepad++. After it's compiled, you can't. So we're going to open it, copy, paste all of that into it, and then we're going to save it. So as you can see, double click, it's all in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drag this onto the compiler. Now it's compiled, so now it's gibberish. So now you're going to drag the client IDs compiled into game types ZM, and you're going to rename this client IDs. Just get rid of the dash compiled. Now you're going to delete that, and you're going to do the same thing for the other two. So ZM underscore Chugabud. We're going to go back, Chugabud, copy everything in here. We're going to paste it. Now we're going to save it. Drag Chugabud onto the compiler. Now it's gibberish. Drag this into zombies and remove the dash compiled. Now you can delete this. Same thing for power-ups. Back, power-ups, copy and paste, save, compile. Just like that. Drag it into zombies. And remove the dash compiled. There you go. Now we got to do one more thing. This is more just ease of access than anything. So now we're going to go back again. Now it's going to say dedicated underscore zm.cfg. Basically the original page we were on is going to have this. So click on it and then scroll down. And then where it says, so just line 52, I guess, keep that in mind, where it says welcome to Zombies++, you're going to copy everything from line 52 down to line 182 right there. Copy it. Going to go into your T6R, data, dedicated ZM, and then wherever you feel like it. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and paste it. We'll do right here. So paste all that. And now this in your dedicated ZM. So now you can adjust the starting points, the perk limit, all that stuff without actually having to go into the GSC files and then like decompile it, or no, not decompile it, sorry. Recopy the source code, change all that. It's just too complicated. So this makes it easy for you. And then just so we can say that it worked, let's just change the starting points from 500 to 1,000. And if you want to be extra safe, put quotes around it. So now I will see you when I'm in game and we'll see if it worked. Just a few things that I remembered while I was editing the video. The custom mystery box price enabled right here, when that's set to 1, for some reason I can't load town or any of the survival maps. So if you run into that same problem, try changing this to 0. Uh, Now down here it says set max power-ups per round and set power-up drop rate. Now, I highly recommend you increase the max power-ups to something like 20, 25. Uh, that doesn't mean that they're going to be 20, 25 power-ups every round, but just a maximum of 20, 25. And the power-up drop rate, I really recommend lowering this from 6,000 to 2,000. Uh, that just makes it default. It really doesn't make it like a power vacuum or anything from BO3. It makes it like the classic zombies experience. In my opinion, 6,000 is just way too hard. And then down here it says the zombie spawn rate 1.75. I would change this to 2 if you want to play like the classic zombies experience. Uh, Leaving this at 1.75, the zombies will spawn quicker and it might be harder, especially if you're just trying to chill. The zombies per player. So what really surprised me is that the default is actually 6. And I remember playing with 3 of my buddies on my server, and once we got up to past like round 20, there was like 300 zombies around, and I'm like, that can't be right, man. And the rounds were taking like 10 minutes. It didn't feel right. So I changed this personally to 4, but apparently the default is 6, so that's up to you. Also, the set bleed out points to all players and to self, I would change this to point, it's going to be set to 0.1. I would change it to 0.05. Uh, that way, if you have like a newer teammate or a crappy zombies player as a teammate and he goes down 10 times in a round, uh, if you don't change this to 0.05, then you're basically going to be at 0 points the entire game. And set jug health bonus. So this was actually an accident from the dev, and it took me a while to figure this out because I couldn't figure out why I was downing in 3 hits with jug. Uh, it's set to 160. You're going to want to change this to 250, and that's basically going to be the 5-hit jug down. So it'll actually be like you have jug instead of just like you wasted 2,500 points. So make sure you change that. If you're going to change anything, make sure it's that. All right, I just started my game in my server. So go into my game, check the server list. So now we have IW4M Admin installed and Zombies++ mod on the test server right here. Double click it. Now we should start with 1,000 points since we changed it. And if we do, yep, the zombie counter. And 1,000 points. There we go. Alright guys, well I was alt-tabbed, some random guy joined, and that just proves that the server works. Gave him admin and everything, just messing around. And yeah, I mean, it works, boys. Alright guys, just one more step. This step's totally optional, but we're going to be installing custom survival maps on our dedicated server. Now, this mod was created by Jesus, Kaz, and Gerard, so shout out them. I'll have the GitHub link in the description below. Head on over there, and then click on Compiled Plutonium Release. Download that zip right there, and then go back. And then once you're back, click on instructions-plutonium.md. Now go down and then select everything in this box right here from set Z game mode to perk slot increase. Copy it, minimize. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open the zip that we downloaded. It's going to have these files in it right here. What we're going to do is go into your storage folder, T6, and then you may or may not have this folder called scripts. If you do, go into it if you don't create it. And then in scripts, you may or may not have a folder called ZM. If you do, go into it if you don't create it. So we're going to create it, ZM, go into it, and then once you're in the ZM folder, drag all of these files into there. Just beware that the transit survival maps like town, bus depot, farm, they will not load and not work properly while these scripts are in this folder. If you want to move them or delete them when you want to play those maps, I recommend you do. But if they're not loading, like if they're loading with half the map missing and like zombies hanging in there, you know you got to take these scripts out. So just know that. Now what we're going to do is go to your T6R data dedicated ZM, and we're going to paste what we copied earlier into our dedicated ZM. Now, if mine looks a little more configured than how it did a clip ago, then just know that I decided to add this segment in last second, and I had already configured my server a little bit, so I just wanted to kind of get this out. It's going to be the same exact process either way. So what we're going to do is once we have this pasted in, we're going to pick what custom map that we want. So let's just say for the sake of this tutorial, let's do tunnel. Tunnel's a good one. So basically you're going to move tunnel to the very beginning of your custom map rotation, and we'll just swap it out with diner. So put diner in its place, and then we'll move it to the very front. Now what we're going to do is where it says set custom map, this is going to be the initial map. So since we have tunnel as the initial map in our map rotation, we're going to have to match that to tunnel down here for our initial custom map. So now scroll all the way down to your SV_map rotation and paste tunnel in there. Now I should have had the exec on there, but I had redone this, so can't make everything perfect, can you? But once we have SV_map rotation, just tunnel or whatever map of your choice, save, start your server. And as you're loading into the server, if it says like there are 4 zombies right as we're loading in, then we know that we did it right, because since we're playing a bonus survival map, they spawn instantly like as soon as we load. There we go. It says 4 zombies. Did we get tunnel? There we go. We're in tunnel, boys. All right. So yeah, we got tombstone, all the perks. We got pap. It's all blocked off. Jug, box. Yeah, pretty much everything you'd want in a zombies map. And there are like 20 other maps just like this. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. That's pretty much it. Hey guys, if you made it to the end of the video, just know that I really appreciate you guys, and if I helped you in any way, please let me know in the comment section down below. That means way more to me than a like or a subscribe. I made this video with the sole intention of helping people, and I really would like to know that I did, you know. So my next project that I'm thinking of making a tutorial for is actually custom weapon skins and 3D designing, 3D exporting, as you can see with the paralyzer. Um, and let me know if you guys would want to see that. And if you guys do, then I would love to make it. And with all that being said, this is the actual end of the video. And peace out, guys.